Hello, it's Linda again with Make It Now. Well, we're going to make this now. I watched a few YouTube channels on how to make these little blocks, these little squares. You can use old clothing material. I mean, I'm sure you've got pieces of material, sheets, blankets. I don't know. You can use all kinds of material for this. But this is a cute little house. It's just a 10 by 10. And I happen to have a ruler. It's 10 by 10. So I use it right on top of it, and I cut out the square once I'm done. Because you make it real messy, and then you can square it off. All right, so then this is one I made, and here's another one. I like the window with the cross in it. Here's another one with the cross in it. And then this one. So I just, kept improving on the design more and more. So we are going to make one of these. And I like making things quickly, and I want to find things to make quickly. And that's what this is. We're going to make these quickly. All right. Take a picture of this. This is the pattern. There is no pattern. It's just instructions. And then here's the second page. The first thing we're going to do, number one, is we are going to make the little house part, which is this part right here. You make this first, and you don't even have to use a rotor. All you need is a pair of scissors. A pair of scissors and some material. That's it. Let's take of course, a sewing machine. If you don't have a sewing machine, and you can sew your seams by hand. But you can, this is so cute. Okay, so I got some material. I just grabbed some out of my bin. I don't know. I just have a few pieces here. And so what I'm going to do is, what color would I like my house? Well, let's see. How about I make my house this color? Just a piece of material here. Okay, so I'm just going to make, real quickly, just grab my scissors. I'm going to eyeball it pretty much. You don't have to even measure anything out, okay? You really don't. And so I'm just going to go, okay, well, I'm going to just cut up like this. And I'm going to make just a little square thingy, like a rectangle here. Okay, this is my house pieces. Okay, so now I want to just, make them, make some straight lines. So here's what you do. You want to cut 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to cut 4 pieces because the door is a complete different color. So I'm going to grab this, just a piece of material. I'm going to make this my door. So I'm just going to cut a piece of material like this. My scissors, I'll throw that over there. So here's my door. Okay, there's my door. So now I'm just going to cut these slices up. I'm just going to do this. Okay, that's the left side. Here's my door. Here's the right side of the door. Here's the wall where I want to put the mirror, the window. And here's the right side of my house. Wow. Now we're almost done with the house. So I'm going to take it to my machine, and I'm going to sew these pieces together. But the window one, this is where I use my yellow or I use a cross. I have a material that looks like cross. These are pretty big, so I cut it down to make a window. So I'm going to use this. You can use any color. You can actually use a piece of material that has an animal face in it, and you could put that in the window or whatever you want to do. But I'm just going to use this right there. All right, so what I have to do though is I got to cut this to match this. See, I got to make it match that. So I'm just going to put this here, and it's going to cut it down a bit, but that's okay. I think they'll get the gist of that as a cross. Okay. All right, so that's going to be my window. Now, I'm going to sew together. I'll be right back, and I'll show what it looks like. There's my house. It's all wonky. You see, it's all, you know, weird. So I do use a cutter to just, you know, straighten it out. You can use scissors and you can cut it, but since I have a grid here and since I have a cutter, I'm going to use it. So I'm just going to make it 4 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 inches there. You don't have to make it 4 inches. You can make it a bigger square. I'm making a 10 by 10 square for my house. So that's why I'm doing it this size. You can make it as big as you want. Just square it off on each end. Make sure it's even. There's my body of my house. Okay, so now I want to add another piece to the top. So let's see here. I'm just going to eyeball it and cut it like this. Not a big deal. Just cut it up. See, it's going to go across like that. I'm going to sew it and I'll be right back. Let me just tell you a couple of things that I do. I iron between each time I sew something, so I iron it. And I use a 1/4 inch seam on my sewing. That's the basics. So there we go. Look at that. There's my house. Now the next thing I want to do is make a roof. So what can I do for my roof? I'll just use this. So all you do is you lay it down, go, oh, I think I want to make I'm just going to make a triangle. Now here's the thing. You can make it to the house, or I like to make it past it a little bit. And again, it's not rocket science. See? There's my roof. How simple was that? Okay, so before you sew the roof to the house, let's finish the sky. So we need to put some sky. I really like this. I like this. I don't know, it just looks like nighttime sky. So what I do is I put this on here, give it a little bit of room on each side, okay? See the room? And I want to have some room up here. So I just cut it. I just cut it out. Like I said, it's not perfect. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Now, because I have sky here, I need to also put some sky here. So I just take my material and I go, okay, I want to put some sky here. So you make it the same size as the house. Like that. And then this side too. Isn't this easy? Oh my gosh, this is so fun. You can make all kinds of houses this way. So that's what it's going to look like. And of course, then I'll have some grass. And I'm going to use this piece for my grass. Isn't that going to be cute? Okay, so now how do we do this? First of all, let's sew these 2 pieces on the side of the house. I'm just going to cut this straight up so I can have a straight edge. Make sure that the sides are straight and you don't have it gapping over like this. See, it's a little bit over. I'm just going to cut it off. All right, and then I'm going to sew these together and I'll be right back. Right sides together. I ironed it down. I had sewn those together. Now on this gets a little tricky. Let's put this aside for now. This gets a little tricky. This is my way of doing it because the way that they did it, you did squares and you did triangles and you try to fit them. I just couldn't do it. So I make sure that that's in the middle. Got some side on there. And then all I do is I take my scissors and I cut along the side of the triangle. All the way to the top. Like that. Then I move this aside and then I just sew these 2 together. Right sides together. I'll be right back. So I sewed this on here like that. Now you notice I have a little bit over here. I need to leave some off to the side because I want the roof to hang over the house a little bit. Now when I cut it this way, it gave myself some room here. So I need to make sure that I also give myself room on the side here. So make sure when you sew this to this, you give it a little bit of extra space here. But you sew this together and straight across that other one that you just laid. So go right across here. So that's what it looks like. Now you take this piece and we take our little house. We go, oh, that's lovely. That's exactly what I like. Okay, so I want to square this off. Just use your scissors. You don't have to cut it with a rotary. Just square it off like that. You don't need to do anything up here yet. And then just sew right sides together. We are almost done. Now let's take a look at the back. Oh, look at what we have here. Here's this little piece hanging here. Well, you just simply trim it off. Okay, get that out of the way. But notice that I ironed the same kind of direction. So I did some this way, did this way, did this way. As long as that seam is in the same direction, you don't have to open the seams, just iron it down. Okay, so I'm not doing anything yet with my square, but I am going to add some grass. So I'm just going to make a strip, really easy. Make sure that my bottom is straight. Oh, I got a little bit sticking out here, so I'm just going to cut that off. And right sides to the bottom, and I'll sew it and I'll be right back. There it is. So I happen to have a 10 by 10 square. You can use a 12 by 12. You can actually use a ruler. You can use your grid, however you want, whatever size you want to make your block. Well, I'm making all my blocks 10 by 10 because I'm going to make a quilt out of it when I'm all done. And I don't want to cut off my roof, so I want to go up a little bit. And then I just cut the square. All right, there's my square. Now, if I need to make it bigger to match my other squares or make it smaller, I cut it. If I need to add more material, I add more material. So that's how you make that. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness. Make it now with Linda Lang.